I won't stop hustling. But I just
Grinders and grindettes, greetings and salutations. Listen, if you're new to the channel, I go by the name of the Black Abstract, aka Mr. 5950, aka the Flyest to the Low, aka damn, this episode was boring as hell. No, listen, if you're new, make sure you like, subscribe, and to my returning subscribers like my boy Quentin Baptiste, salute. So let's get into it. WU-TANG American Saga, Season 2, Episode 4, titled Pioneer the Frontier. This episode was it was a pretty contained episode. Wasn't a lot of exploring different characters or going out of the ferry that they were on for the whole entire episode. So listen, this episode was about Bobby trying to mend the fence and differences between Raekwon and Ghostface, aka Sha, and D-Love Dennis. So starts off, they're getting on a ferry, and he has Power, Divine, uh, Raekwon, and Ghostface all coming to meet him on his ferry. But it's unbeknownst to everybody that they're actually meeting each other because he feels like if he gives them a heads up, that they would fucking not show up. So they all show up with the hopes of, just kicking it and trying to figure out what's going on with the music because they trust Bobby's vision. And you got to think about it. I know a lot of people prior wondering because a few times I was just like, yo, why do they trust him? But he had a deal already. You got to think, even though the deal fell through, he still had a deal. That was a big deal back then. To have a record deal, have a video out back then in the 90s, that was a big ass deal. So they figure like he probably still got some ties to the industry. And on top of that, man, he got some dope ass beats. So they probably like, yo, this he got dope beats. He been in the industry. Like I'm fucking with him. And then on top of that, he a solid dude from what's displayed on the show. Now the person portraying him per se, listen, it's like a love hate thing. Sometimes I think he's doing a fantastic job. Sometimes I think he's just like, I don't know. Like somebody said, one of the subscribers said he sounded like DMX this season. Yo, we got to do this. R stands for righteous. Z, zigzag zig. A stands for Allah. You know what I'm saying? Like they said he sounded like that. But anyway, let's get into the episode. So we see Ghostface and Raekwon meet up. Raekwon was actually there first. Shaw was there first. He was kicking it with him. And shout out to Shamik Moore, man. He gets better and better with this Raekwon character. At least his personality. He don't really look like him too much. But this with the slang and shit back in does a good job. So they're on the ferry, they kicking it, and then Dennis Ghostface rolls up and he like, yo, you got this nigga with you. Now you gotta remember, Raekwon and Power shot at Dennis' house. They shot his shit up. And then in return, Ghostface Dennis robbed Power's family's business, had everybody face down with a gun to their head, and took all the cash. So it's a lot of bad blood. Why in particular? Now, if this is true story, now I know they didn't like each other at first in real life, but if these events particularly are true, ain't no way in hell I come in the fences with these dudes. It had to be in blood. Like I got to get my lick back. You almost shoot me, my brothers, and my mom while I'm in the crib. Oh no, you got to fold. You got to fold for that. And then, even him robbing his family, I couldn't accept it. I couldn't tolerate it at all. So initially, Ghostface is a live wire. Initially, he is like, yo, what is going on? Like, you crazy? I'm not going for this. Like, it even shot like, yo, it'd be a cold day of hell. And RZA trying to explain, he was like, yo, you got to understand, when it's an orchestra on stage, there's different parts, there's different harmonies. That's how I look at y'all. Y'all my brothers. We all a group. As a one, we're orchestra. Everybody plays a different part, a different harmony. They like, nigga, this ain't no fucking shit. I was like, yo, what you talk about? Orchestras and shit, nigga? You crazy, nigga? Like, fuck out of here. And they walk away. And as they're walking away, Divine and Power walk up. And, Divine and Power got bad blood. But it's crazy because they used to be tight homies. But, when I say love changes, a thug changes, and best friends become strangers. And that's exactly what happened with these two. And Power's still in the game. Divine, obviously he got arrested, so he's in the system, so he had to change his life around. But everything fell through with the construction front. So with his business mind, he wants to kind of just dive deep into the music to see what he can contribute. And he was willing to kind of like put differences aside, but at the same time, initially he was riding with Dennis. He went to Dennis like, "Yo, I feel where you coming from, bro. Like you gotta understand, you my bro." But he made some slick remark like, at the same time, you knocked up my sister too. You was popping my sister on the low. You know what I'm saying? You supposed to be my bro, but you sneaking behind my back, popping my sister and shit. So that was a little fucking, that was some friction right there. We see Power and Raekwon are both got they toast on them. They ain't playing around. They like, yeah, you son, you know I'm strapped, son. So it was kind of like clicky. It was Power, Raekwon, and it was Divine and Dennis. Then everybody just kind of dispersed and was doing their own thing. You just get Bobby the whole ride trying to kind of talk to everybody individually. He talks to Divine, and Divine tell him like, "Yo, you foul for this, bro. Like, why would you do this? Like, you this could have went bad, and it could have went sideways. You know what I'm saying? They could have them pistols could have got the drawing, and boys could have got the shooting if they wanted to. You know what I'm saying? Raekwon got to understand he playing. That was a dangerous game he played. So, listen, don't ever do nothing like that, kids. Uh, People got murder beef like that. You don't put them in uncompromising situations like that to try to force them to reconcile for the better good of you, for the benefit of you. You know what I'm saying? Because I could have went sideways, and then they could have turned on him and popped his ass. If they ain't had so much love for him. Um, so we see this guy on the subway who's selling everybody scamming. He's selling VHSs and Statue of Liberties and Dennis sees he has a pistol on him. And he comes to get it later on in the show because he's like, "Yo, you said anything for sale?" And I'm like, "Yo, how many guns Dennis got? Because he's gotten so many guns already." So yeah, I don't. Hey, different strokes for different folks, man. Dennis, Dennis a loose cannon. Uh, the actual voice of reason was kind of like Power because he's sitting there reading the paper and shit. He's like he's a little older, a little mature. But Power wants out of the life. You know what I'm saying? Divine is already out of the street life. So they have an interesting conversation where they reminisce about something from the past, kind of bring the tension. Um, and it was good to see them in the fence. You know what I'm saying? Like you could tell these two once upon a time had genuine love for each other. Whatever happened, I don't remember in first season, but I'm guessing it just had something to do with the drug game. They just went their separate ways. They was both kind of getting money on both sides, and was kind of stepping on each other's toes a little bit. Then Divine got knocked for I might have been because of Bobby, if I'm not mistaken. I forget exactly what happened. Um, so he wound up getting locked up, but it was good to see them break that tension. And the reason Power, we learned, from the last episode when he seen old boy on the bus, and he was explaining to him like, "Yo, how long can you do what you doing without getting knocked for it?" And then we find out the reason that Bobby or RZA even wants him in there is because his connection to the streets. But he wants to get out of the streets. But he's like, "Yo, we can't be talking about street shit and we don't have no ties to the streets." He was like, "Power is the streets." You know what I'm saying? You're not in the streets. He was telling Divine, but Divine like, "Lo, listen, look at all the grimy shit this nigga done did. Like, is you serious?" Like, but Bobby breaks it down to him, and he's just like, "Yo, you gotta trust me." And he trusts his brother, so he went and talked to him like a man. You know what I'm saying? So, shout out to him for being a man about it. And listen, if y'all ever watched the Wu-Tang documentary, it's on YouTube, where they kind of explain it, pretty much everything in just a short amount of time, how they all came together. They got Divine and Power in that documentary, I believe. I know for sure Divine is in there. I don't know if Power is in there. But Divine sounds exactly like the actor that's playing, or the actor that's playing him sounds exactly like Divine. He got his mannerisms to a T. Um, uh, Power convinces Raekwon. Raekwon is serious about he real serious about the rapping shit. So Power convinces Raekwon to kind of chill out. But Dennis is the one that's just like, yo, I'm not feeling this shit, son. I'm not feeling this shit, son. So he's going around the whole train. So once he gets the pistol, it becomes a matter of now he's just trying to be on the offense versus the defense. And they catch Power and Shaw catch him looking at him through the food joint. He like, yo, what the fuck? So he like, yo, when this joint dock, and man, I'm gonna do something. He don't wind up doing nothing, but it's just like a race against time. RZA's trying to get everybody in together, and the reason it's just these particular people because they the ones that really have beef with each other. You know, Ason and Jizza and Spectre that you got Method Man. They just kind of cool with everybody. They don't have no real beef. You know what I'm saying? But these particular individuals have real beef and are the hardest to get in the group. And for RZA to put up and do something like that, he really, really saw some potential in it. And that's you gotta tilt your hat to that, man, because he could have picked anybody from Staten Island or whatever, but he picked these individuals, you know what I'm saying? So who knows? The world would have been we never got a Raekwon or a Ghostface or something like that, or the purple tape. It would have been crazy. But at the end, they all come to a resolve. Everything come to a head on the top of the dock. Everybody's yelling, talking shit to each other. They flashing guns. Yo, son, you ain't the only one, son. Know what I'm saying? What you want to do, son? I'm like, man, these niggas all doing all this talking. They ain't pulling shit out. You keep flashing your shit. Don't flash it if you're not going to use it. For real. But anyway, Bobby was cool and collective the whole entire time. And then he just gets like, yo, shut the fuck up. Everybody shut the fuck up. And he just explains his vision to everybody. Like, yo, I need you for this and this and this and this. And I understand this and this and that. But we got to get past that because I need y'all and blah, blah, blah. And he gave a good speech. I can't remember verbatim what he said. I told y'all, I'm old. I don't remember shit like that. I'm getting older. But it was a good spill. Listen, a lot of people probably going to say this episode was boring and whack, but it was a necessary episode. You cannot glaze over how these boys came together in 15 minutes. It would have looked cheesy and corny and been like TV-ish. This had to center around a whole episode, I believe. Maybe they could have did a couple other scenes elsewhere, but the beef they had was like murder beef. It was to the point where these two entities from each side could have killed each other, man. And they had every right to do so because you shot at my house. You robbed my parents. Like, and for them to put that aside, you call it pussy and be like, oh, that's pussy. Because that's how I call it too. Like, I wouldn't do that. Spade is a spade. You know what I'm saying? Bygones is bygones. It is what it is. I'm not putting this aside, but I salute them for putting it to the side and seeing the bigger picture. And ultimately, them putting to the side made them wealthy in life and made them who they are today. Because if they didn't put that to the side and focus on the goal, which was to get in the industry and become something, we would have probably got no Wu-Tang, or we would have got a different version of Wu-Tang, and maybe that version not so successful. So uh, all in all, I thought this was a decent episode, man. Out of a 5 mics, you know, already thinking the mic system, I probably would get this like a solid 3. You know what I'm saying? I think it was a decent episode. It was a little slow pacing, and fucking sometimes dude that play RZA act and get on my damn nerve. But I like when they had certain things with the speaker saying, "Yeah, you better hurry the hell up for the docks to Manhattan, and you ain't gonna get your chance." I like shit like that. So I thought it was a decent show, man. I really like this show, Wu-Tang, American Saga. I'm glad it's another show that I could watch and review. I just want to see more, people of color on TV, especially a legendary group like the Wu-Tang. So listen, I didn't particularly like Wu-Tang growing up. They was a little before my time. I liked them later, but when they was like prominent, I wasn't listening to Wu-Tang and shit. I was more into like Biggie type shit, and you know what I'm saying? So I went back and started fucking with I fuck with certain members of Wu-Tang. Let me say it like that. As a whole, I didn't fuck with the Wu-Tang like that till later. But I fuck with certain members, Ghostface, Method, of course, Method Man was like the face. So it's good to go back, see history, and then they start playing certain verses or playing songs. You're like, oh, that's how that came together, and that's how that song came together. Listen to the song. Can it be that it was all so? That shit is hard, bro. To this day, that shit hard. and you watch the video and be like, listen, these dudes hated each other and creating this magic right here. I don't know. I love it. But anyway, let me know what you thought in the comments below. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, hit the Cash App, buy some merch, support the channel. I do this for you guys. I thank everybody that been riding with me since day one or whatever day you came. Let's keep it growing, man. Tell a friend to tell a friend that it's him again. All right, peace.